when we come to May 24th, next month, everyone will be experiencing Saturn. This is Saturn's symbol. And Neptune. Neptune has just moved into Aries, and Saturn will be joining Neptune in Aries in May. And so you want to look at your chart, figure out where's your Aries energy, because this is where this is going to take place personally for you. And this is a big deal. I personally love Saturn transits. Saturn is in a sign for about 2.5 years. So for the last 2.5 years, Saturn has been in Pisces. And if you have felt, it's helpful to think about what you've been experiencing in these last 2.5 years, because if people have felt collectively maybe a more pull towards developing our own spiritual practices, because that's something that Pisces rules. Pisces rules spirituality and belief. And something that I was thinking this whole 2.5 year period with Saturn in Pisces was, can I stand on my beliefs? I say I believe in this, and maybe for some people we're reconfiguring what we believe in, but that is how we exercise and practice really faith. Is Saturn brings, I don't say it brings obstacles, but it's just not an easy transit, because it's really, Saturn always teaches us how to develop the structures and the systems and how to create the boundaries and the guardrails that we need in order to truly build or become what we say we want. So sometimes we think that whatever your goal is, whatever your aim is, I actually have a really good example of someone who is in a new job in an organization, and something that she said was that, I thought this was gonna be my dream job. That I was just gonna move from Jersey to Atlanta and just kill it. And it never turns out that way, that it's just yes, I'm just gonna pop in and boop, 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 boop. No, this is the development of this being your dream job. But it's also thinking about who do you need to become with Saturn energy so that that dream can come true. And this is quite literally, this energy is around the actual making, because we have spent the last 2.5 years with Saturn in Pisces dreaming, hopefully going more internal, developing our practices, imagining, and when Saturn moves into Aries, it's time to get to work. We're still going to have this dreaminess of Neptune's energy. Neptune rules dreams and visions. It also rules illusion and confusion. So sometimes it feels like, when your windows get fogged in the car, sometimes Neptune feels like that. Sometimes we think we have clarity, and then we make the windshield wipers go, and we're like, oh, I'm about to hit a tree. Not really, that's a very bad, violent example, but it's sometimes we think we have clarity and we're moving in our right direction, and we're surprised by that veil being cleared, and we really don't. But that's okay, because the invitation of Neptune is that imaginal space, and is also, as Pisces ruler, it is that invitation to how do you go quiet? How do you get still so that you can be that windshield wiper, so that you can see what that clarity is? And Aries always rules new beginnings, initiation. We know the Aries folks in our lives, talk about y'all now, y'all are impulsive. There's very little space between thought and action when it comes to Aries. It's just oh, I thought I did it. I thought I did it. So very instinctual. And Saturn will help it's a restricting kind of energy, a cold kind of energy. I think that Saturn will bring some spaciousness between thought and action with Aries, so that we can reach for that Neptune, that vision that we see, and can actually see the clarity. But Aries rules action. There is no let me hem and haw about this. We need to take swift action on the things that we've been collectively dreaming about and start building it, and then also start building it with integrity, right? So this is a really big time. And Neptune is going to be here for a while, like over a decade. It's around 14 years that Neptune is in a sign. So we can get really nice and cozy with Neptune. But Saturn transits are really great to follow because it's only about 2.5 years. And so you can really feel some of that constriction coming into this area of your life. But if you can remember the phrase, I'm developing in this area, I'm learning to mature, I'm developing patience, and I'm gaining the skills and the experiences that I need to really make this dream come true. If you think about the difference between the speed when we do something quickly and then we do something slowly, and how many details we see in the difference. We miss a lot of details when we go fast, but when we're going slowly, we see everything, and we're able to refine, we're able to pause, we're able to go back and to review. And so this is going to be a good time for this area in our lives in general, for us to develop initiation, to know when to pump the brakes, when to pump the gas, to make swift decisions, even if we feel foggy minded about them. But I think we see this politically and in our climate right now, where we need to do something. Like, we see these other parties they are acting very swiftly, and we need to meet and like match and exceed that energy. And then 2 plants, I don't want to overwhelm people with plants. There's always many options that can support us. And so comfrey I chose as a Saturnian plant. If you have liver considerations, you don't want to have it internally, but you can always use it as a room spray. Like, there's different ways that we can bring in the energy of plants, depending on your comfortability with taking them internally or not. So you can do room sprays, you can just carry it around with you, you can put it under your pillow. But comfrey is that plant that brings in some structure. It's it's known as a tissue healer. Like, it tightens, it regenerates, it locks things in again. So we think about wounds, and comfrey's a really supportive ally. We have been wounded. We need to do some tissue repair on the soul level, the spiritual level, the emotional level. We need to do that quickly. Comfrey's a very fast tissue repair healer. And that also happens in the emotional and spiritual levels as well. But it helps us with structure. And then lavender is such a really calming plant. We tend to not think clearly, very hard to think clearly and kind of bring the windshield wipers in to invite some clarity if we're anxious, if we're nervous, if we're afraid, which is kind of an Aries kind of Achilles heel. Like, we don't want our warrior energy, which is Aries, to be in fear, because you all are the ones, our Aries energy is first on the battle, saying, let's go, we've got this. It rules courage and bravery. You don't see in superhero movies the hero being like, wait a minute, like pausing. It's very instinctual, and that's exactly what we need. And lavender, it can be instinctual from a place of clarity, and I think lavender is a really good ally for that. Very mood uplifting, very relaxing, invites wonderful sleep, so supporting our dreams, and great antidepressant and anxiolytic herb as well. That, again, you can use topically, you can use internally.